D, are you still there?
I realize now my mic has been muted. Oh my god. I didn't realize I pressed the button. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Best in Slot Radio Podcast. It's a podcast focused on Final Fantasy XIV, its game design and features, as well as how it compares to other games on the market. I'm one of your hosts, Dtg. With me, as always, is going to be my boys, as in Nox. Say hi, boys.
What's up, homies?
How's it going?
And we are back. Now, happy news first. We missed last week's episode, but for a good reason. Nox, why don't you tell them?
Well, I welcomed into the world my third kid and my beautiful daughter, Iris.
There we go, little baby Nox. So good reason to miss, not like that COVID episode we had a couple weeks back, which thankfully Ez has fully recovered from.
Hey!
So, Best in Slot episode number 14. We're going to go through the live letter number 69 and recap everything that it went through. So, in this particular live letter, they talked about patch 6.1. They gave it a name. It's going to be Newfound Adventure. We know that it's scheduled. I know. I feel like this is the first patch I've been like, holy shit, I can't wait for this to come out.
Yeah, have you seen all the Twitter artists doing like redraws of the cover art?
It looks so cool.
There? Yeah, it's so amazing.
I love some of the artist renders who have, there's been some, not 3D, but like updated high scale models, high res. And it's really nice. It's really, really nice. But so scheduled for mid-April. They haven't given us an official date on that one. However, I would say it's probably the third week and not the second. I'm just guessing on that one. But with all new major content patches, we'll get new Msq. From what they told us, it's going to take place a few months after the 6.0 finale and kind of ties into the last little bit of 6.0 finale. So I'm curious where they're going to take this. I don't know that any of us can really truly speculate, but I know that once it drops, we're going to have a lot to talk about and where it can go. That's for sure.
I like they gave us like that few months buffering, so it's like, yeah, you chilled for a little while. You just saved the whole world, you know. Just
why don't you hang out?
Get some R&R.
Take a little vacay there.
I also noticed they talked about Tataru's grand endeavor. Still didn't really give us a lot of information.
We're gonna fuck over Lolorito.
Yeah. Oh, I can't.
Let's go.
They are going to do another live letter before the drop of this one, so we'll have a little bit more to talk about when that comes up. One thing I am kind of pumped about, new role quests. They kind of did this in Shadowbringers, where after you completed all 4 of the role quests, there was a, like, what's the word for it? Penultimate's the wrong one, but there's a
it's kind of like a follow-up.
Yeah, follow-up that encompasses all the stories. I'm kind of pumped.
Yeah.
Have you guys done all of your role quests yet? I have not.
I have not either. I've done all of my DPS ones, but not the tanking and healing.
We've all been playing something else.
I still log into 14 5 days a week, so use you. But I don't. I've done the healer one. That's the only one that I've gotten through. So
only the tank one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Wow,
I mean, all of us know our roles. Yeah, we all know our roles.
Literally.
So that's kind of funny. I'm really excited. I got to this really late in Shadowbringers, so I don't feel like I got to enjoy it as much because I kind of crammed it into the back like 2 weeks of the expansion, which I don't know, just didn't feel like it had a great effect. So I'm kind of pumped on the new role quest. Yeah. Moving on, they have renamed it. It is no longer Beast Tribe quests. It's just Tribe quests now.
Yeah, well, the Arcasadoa, so that's going to be the newest one added. They're where it's just like we said, they're going to be the new pixies. So this one in particular is being renamed to Tribal Quests. They're not going to go back and retroactively change the previous expansions' names, just because when you're doing that content in the timeline, that is what they're still referred to as. But moving forward, they're going to be tribal quests. So that's cool.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, that's one of those really small attentions to detail that I really appreciate. Because it's like, that totally makes sense. Because we've made up with the beast tribes.
Especially, and if that's a spoiler to you, you probably shouldn't be I mean, you should probably.
We're beyond the spoiler talk.
Yeah, we got some other episodes that we should check out.
You should probably go listen to the other stuff first. But what's cool is, much like the Pixie Dailies, there's 2 small quest lines you got to do before you unlock the dailies. I'm really excited because one of the things I miss most about leveling alts right now, not alts, but different jobs, is Pixie Dailies are great from 70 to 80 and still have some XP past 80, but they don't have that right now in the 80 to 90 range. And getting from 80 to 81 has been one of my bigger struggles on a lot of my classes because honestly, there's like no great way to get XP at 80 other than running Mount Gold fucking 40 times, and I'm not doing that anymore. It's just such a boring dungeon. Like, it was really fun and nice and different when I played it first time, but now that I've run it probably more than 80 times,
you don't want to fight the pretty lady that duplicates herself and
it's so boring. I just like after the second boss, all those pulls are just so much harder than everything else. It's ridiculous.
But there's the big thing, it turns into dust. It makes a bridge.
I like a lot of faces. Yeah, no, it's fucking boring. All right, it's a good MSQ dungeon, but I don't want to do it anymore.
I think you're filled with hate.
I am. I did not like Bothri as a character, so Mount Gold didn't do it for me. That's right.
Oh yeah, that fucker.
Fucking guy. But the Arc of Sadara having that and just kind of fleshing out them a little bit more. I really, really enjoyed the Pixie quest line while I was doing it and everything about the Dream Realm and stuff. So
it was really cool to have a redemption arc for the Fairy King.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah, well, and like I said, deep dungeons are coming. I still think I'm sticking to my Pixie predictions. So we'll see what happens there. But I think that the coolest thing I'm excited for with the tribe dailies is if they're going to flesh out the story, I'm hoping that they talk a little bit more about Dynamis because of how much we got into it. Yeah, like them exploring Dynamis a little bit because, they talked about it briefly. It's, what was it, Hasha? What did they call it? It's
I think it was Kasha.
Yeah, I think it was Kasha. They had a different name for it, but it'll be interesting to see kind of what direction they go with the storyline. And for such a side thing, it's just great to have some additional context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's move on. Hildebrand.
Yes. Finally.
I'm ready to feel like an asshole.
Another dumb dance.
Oh,
I've never done a single Hildebrand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's too much going on in this game. You guys are saying, wow, you play Elden Ring for 45 hours a week. Meanwhile, I'm logging into 14 every day, and I'm still not able to get everything done. It's ridiculous.
That is true. That is true.
New Hildebrand quest, which, I think it just speaks to the volumes of what Square wants to do. They want to appease their fans, and they know this stupid, silly quest line is what people want. But yeah, I'm excited. I think I finally will be able to catch up on Hildebrand, not next week, but the following. My schedule opens up quite a bit. But the next topic, I think Nox will probably be very, very excited for.
Ooh,
new Omega quest line that ties into the 6.0 MSQ somehow. So obviously, Ultima Thule's coming back into play.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting.
Does this leave space for Omicrons to be another tribal quest line?
Oh, I think so.
Oh,
kind of opens the door to it.
I've been smoking a lot of weed, so I went down a rabbit hole where I was just like, this could really be.
Yo, I'm a level with you boys. I'm high as fuck right now.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get there.
Well, I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Yeah, I heard Nox's blowtorch before.
Wait a minute. Okay. All right.
So Omega, I'm excited to see how they tie it in. They didn't give us any context, but it is kind of an extension of the Omega raid series from Stormblood. Mm-hmm. So I think one thing I'm going to be doing is I feel like with Endwalker, especially on a warrior, we are kind of at that power level. If you've gotten your warrior to like 600 eye level or so, we're at that power level where you can more than likely go solo most of the Omega quest series from Stormblood. And I think I'm going to do that because I don't remember most of the quests from the Omega series.
It was pretty memorable to me. I definitely oh man.
Well, that was
to be honest, I'm calling
it
now. I'm just calling the shot in the dark now. He's gonna actually like wholly be our brosif and maybe help us with like some Shadow Omega or some sort like that.
It would like have an inclination with regards to like how they've allowed us to. They put the Omega M and F on the shop, the outfits. So he might be like a person again, potentially.
Oh,
right? We'll see. Which we'll talk about the outfits later on in the episode. But I'm pumped because before Endwalker dropped, the two things they said you should do if you have time was do the Bahamut raid series, Coils of Bahamut, and then do the Omega raid series as well.
Yep.
So I'm glad that the Omega one came later, because now this gives an opportunity to people who are returning to the game or will be returning to the game to freshen up. I'm pretty pumped. I'm not going to lie. Next up, we're getting a new dungeon. They provided absolutely zero context on this, which I was so annoyed about.
I have a feeling it's tied to the Hildebrand. Like,
okay.
It might not be like a full-on raid, but
well, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like, okay, where do you put it? Because they have an Ultima Thule one, they have a Loperate one. It's like, all right, where do you put another dungeon? As far
Newfound
as
adventure,
contexted, yeah.
Of course, D. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I mean they know what they're talking about. That's why they name it the way they do.
Yo, dudes, they're just gonna give us a whole new place to go to.
I would be fucking pumped.
I would be blown away.
Upset. Yeah, I'd be like, you guys are working on this too? Holy shit!
Yeah, it's like a whole other like continent.
Blow my
like,
mind.
What?
Yeah, well, Mercidia, like we've Mercia, like. We've talked about it, so God, there's so much to split. This has been the hardest patch for me to get my head around because I know that we have no fucking idea what comes next, and that has not been the case for the last like 5 years. So I don't know.
Wild,
I'm jittery.
Wild kind of tinfoil hat there regarding Mercidia. Imagine if the new MSQ is like the tie-in to just like get to there.
I would love
Whereas
that.
like next X-Pack is actually like there.
Yeah, I would fucking love that. I think that'd be great. The
whole post game for Endwalker is the setup to get to Mercadia to see like, wait, I heard that name when you were like, you didn't even check out over there. Yeah, hold on, let me write this down.
Yeah, Selkie Boy was talking about it.
Yep,
my god. So new trial comes out. Ensinger's Aria is the name, and that trial itself of the 3 trials we were given was my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
Now I will say Heidelin EX is fantastic. I like it more than Zodiark, but man, Ensinger EX, what the fuck are they gonna do? Because that fight is already wild.
I mean, more meteors.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to have an LB3 2.0 situation. It's going to be survive the LB3 and welcome to get fucked, boys.
Well, and like, one thing that they do in EX trials is they kind of take away some of the telegraphing. Yeah. So, like, I'm worried about the revolving planet part. I'm like, how much crazier is this going to get? Are they going to add an additional planet that has something else going on? Like, there's just going to be a lot. And, like, I'm a competitive player. I'm really excited to see how difficult it is. And I'm also excited for the shit show that is going to be Party Finder the first day it comes out.
It's going to have double planets every time and the little planets falling down on the platform at the same time.
Yeah, your margin of error is this fucking 3x3 box that you have to stand in.
Motherfucker, you better know where you're going to stand in this pixel perfect spot or fuck you die.
Or you're fucked. Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm pumped. I think I just like fresh content, and I wasn't around for most of Shadowbringers as it was coming out, so I think I'm pretty pumped to be there day one kind of guy. But another trial we're getting is an Unreal trial with Ultima's Bane. I don't know what they're going to do with this one. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, isn't this the first one they've had in a while?
Yeah, like 2 expansions.
Of them? Yeah. So is this this isn't supposed to be harder than Ultimate, right?
No.
Yeah,
So Unreal Trial is like an EX trial, but independent from the current story.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be, especially because they're redoing the Ultima thing to be a trial fight,
right?
Like a one-off. So that'll be cool to see. I'm excited to see what they do with it, but like because we've already had like the penultimate version of Ultima, I'm not sure what else they can do with it unless they give it like a twist and go in a different direction with it.
Right, kind of like the
which could be
minstrel
cool.
ballad things where they're like, "Hey, I'm going to retell the fight, but embellish some shit."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like that would be cool.
And for me, again, it's just more content, and I'm
more fights.
More fights. I'm all for it. I like experiencing this stuff, and we haven't seen Unreal Trials since I think it was Stormblood. We didn't see any in Shadowbringers. Yeah, I think it is a really smart idea to bring this back, so I'm looking forward to it. And then the other thing, we just kind of touched on it, new Ultimate. So Dragon Song's Reprise is the official name of this. It is obviously about the Dragon Song War. They did put up 2 pictures, and simultaneously it looked like there were 2 big-ass dragons side by side.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I know none of us have even been inside of an Ultimate fight, but I'm working towards it, and fuck, man, I cannot wait for something. Good old
Hrace Velgar Nidhogg action.
Yeah, okay. So it does look like Hrace Velgar for me. So I didn't want to like misquote. Is that Nidhogg on the right for that picture?
Okay, is.
That's what I figured. Yeah. So I'm assuming we time travel to a different time when Hrace Velgar isn't on our side.
I don't know that any of the ultimate fights, I mean, like have any lore implications. I think it's just supposed to be some ridiculous challenge. Because, like, as far as I'm aware, the ultimate fights are here's a combination of all of these other extreme fights leading up to this, or raids, or whatever, some situation. So it looks like for Dragon Song's Reprise, it's going to be here's the 12 nights that you had before, and then it's going to lead into the dragon fight. And honestly, it would be really cool if we had a phase change from Hrace Velgar and Nidhogg to the Nidhogg corrupted Estinian and a now Hrace Velgar corrupted Shiva.
Ooh. That would be cool.
I'll top
and then both of them.
I would love to fight Midgard Somer in a different context in the dungeon.
You're gonna get it, buddy.
Yeah, because you fight him in the dungeon, and it's he's just kind of there, and he's not frozen, but he's frozen in place. But I would love just like a more in depth. It's not even him trying to kill us; it's just him like test your fucking might. Let's see what's up, dude. I think would be really fun. So, I'm excited. I have no idea where they're gonna go. And from what I understand, the people who have been designing this fight have been pouring everything they can into it. And let's be honest, they got like an additional, 7 months worth of development on this fight. This thing is going to be polished and ready to go.
Primo.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'm super pumped for that. And I think the rating community, the high-end rating community is also pumped for that because they didn't get one in Shadowbringers. So I think they're kind of chomping at the bit for this, so I'm really pumped. But new Alliance raids coming out. Myths of the Realm, it'll be the first wing. So kind of how they've explained it is an expansion on the time travel back to Elpis. A little bit more. I feel like Asphodelos is a focus on La Habrea. I don't really know what they're going to do with Myths of the Realm.
Well, right now, I don't think they've confirmed that it's a time travel thing. I think that's our speculation.
Okay.
I know I've seen some people saying like, "Oh, that skybox looks kind of like what we see in Elpis," but I'm like, I mean,
that's what I'm basing my.
It's a blue sky. I mean,
right.
So it's like I could believe it, like because we've have already the tie with Pandemonium as it is. And it would be, like we said, because it's already supposedly has something to do with other members of the
Ascians.
The Ascians. We can assume that, but we don't know for sure. I do know that like the other screenshot we saw of the first part of Myths of the Realm looks a lot like some concept art I've seen before with what's the lightning primal's name?
Garuda? No, Rama.
No.
Ramu? Or Ramu?
Yeah, Ramu. There's this picture online of like this city with Ramu next to it. It looks exactly like the place from Mists of the Realm. So that's really exciting. So he might be one of the first fights we're getting, or whoever he is based on.
The OG Ramu.
D, are you still there?
I realize now my mic has been muted. Oh my god! I realized I pressed the button.
I was like, D?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I think is it Rama or Ramu?
I think it's Ramu.
Okay. I've literally since like Final Fantasy VII called it Rama. I'm sorry.
I mean, potato.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. You know, they said that this content is exclusive to 14, something we haven't seen before. So they have a lot of different creative directions they can kind of take it. So I think we're kind of in for this is the first non-crossover in I think 2 or 3 expansions.
Yeah,
be really fun. You know?
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see some more 14 original big storytelling.
Big time. Well, and it's also a catch-up mechanic, you know, as far as gearing goes. So I think that's, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of hype around it. And, you know, it's just going to be good content.
I'm always here for more 14 story.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, there's so many creative directions that 14 hasn't explored yet. So it's just a matter of them flushing out anything they want, which just shows you the level and depth that this game not only has currently, but can continue to do.
Yeah, and we, you know, in the next expansion, we can have our crossover again and finally get some more Final Fantasy 16 info.
I mean, at this point, we'll be lucky if 16 comes out before the next expansion. Jesus,
it's not going to. I hate to break it to you, buddy.
Jesus, this. I just like I want it. Like
we all do.
15 was
especially
great.
After Elden Ring. I want it more.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, let's move on. So, a couple of small things. There are the ARR MSQ improvements. You know, they've made some changes to MSQ. We'll touch on those in a little bit. But I think they're trimming some fat as well, which is smart.
Always nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's tough to sell this game to new players when it's like, hey, it's going to be about 300 hours before me and you play together. Seriously. How do you say that to somebody with a straight face? Like,
I mean, I never tell them that. It's always for me like, hey, go play this game, not to play with me or anybody else. Play it just to experience this amazing story. And if like you're not sold after the free trial is over, after the end of the Dragon Song arc, then I don't fucking know what to say.
Yeah, and my selling point for I've brought in 3 new players over the last like 2 months, and my selling point has been what's cool. No matter where you are in the story, there's gonna be some group party elements that you need to do as a group. Even though I'm a higher level than you, I can join you. There's a system in place for that. And people are like, are you serious? It's like, yeah, dude. So at level 18, when you're playing your pugilist, which turns into a monk later, I can play any character I fucking want and come hang out. It'll scale you.
It's pugilist, all right? Pugilist.
Oh my god, dude. Really?
Yes.
This isn't a dog, all right? Like, oh, look at my pugilist. His face isn't fucked up. Like, come on. Jesus Christ. All right, so we know that job changes are coming, but we don't know what. We already got those buffs, no nerfs last time, but they're going to give us some more info in the next live letter. So
we've removed Reaper from the game.
It's so fun. We took it away from you guys. So
it's too good. You can't have this. Bad.
It's funny, every time I look for new players for a static or trying to join another static, every single one I've looked at except for 3 has been like, Reaper, and all these. And I don't even play it, so it's not like I'm missing out.
Amazing DPS, pretty straightforward rotation, and I mean, you get to be a Reaper. You get to be a Reaper.
Like, come on, who wouldn't want all that? So, okay, so the next system content. Next content we're getting is the Crystalline Conflict is going live.
It's finally here.
As me and you will probably play the fuck out of this. I don't know about you, Nox, but I liked Overwatch when it first came out. Obviously, that game is in a different spot than when it first came out. I think this is going to be really good.
Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing everything entailed with this. Finally getting to get my hands on that new PvP mode, just like everyone else, and seeing the reward system and everything they've put into place.
Well, and how friendly it is. It's not time gated. You can come back to it at any point. You can catch up. Like, the battle pass allows you to play or to have like a catch up mechanic. Like, come on. That's just smart thinking.
Yeah, and if you missed out on previous rewards, then that's something you can just grind the new currency to buy.
Right.
It's easier to get the rewards during the season, but if you miss them, you can go back later, grind for a while, and get them then. And I love that.
Yeah, it's great. And we've said it multiple times on this podcast. This is a game that truly values all of its content, not what's most current. So this is good. However, speaking of all content, with the drop of Crystalline Conflict means the removal of the feast. Not removal, just the end of it.
The suspension.
Yes,
it is. Yeah, it is for the foreseeable future going to be done. If they rework it or decide to do another season in the future, that is still an option. But for the foreseeable future, the Crystalline Conflict is going to be the new, essentially, version of the feast.
Yeah. Which we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm excited. I'm hopeful.
So the next thing that comes out is in patch 6.15. So not right away, but eventually will come out. And that's going to introduce Endwalker's version of custom deliveries with Emilience Levier, or how? Levier, or whatever it is. Emilience. For those of you who don't know what custom deliveries are, maybe you're new to the game, maybe you don't really deal with the crafting and gathering system. In crafting and gathering, there are collectible items. For this, you're going to do specific collectible items that you create. You then turn it into Emilience. She'll give you one of three things, or she'll give you a couple of different things, but it's usually guilds, XP for those particular jobs that you're turning that in on, and scripts. Scripts is how you buy other gear and stuff of that nature. That's the
obviously
TLDR.
The only thing anyone gives a shit about is you get to change Alphino and Alize's mom into a bikini for whatever reason. It's all over the internet. That's all anyone cares about. And you know what? God bless Final Fantasy.
Yeah, she's not ugly. I mean, this is a very attractive character. So, I mean, I'm not going to be jerking it, but like, let's not lie to ourselves here. I mean,
I don't even know what custom deliveries are.
Yeah, no. They're so if you haven't touched Ishgard Restoration, in Ishgard you craft specific collectibles to help with the restoration of their districts. So collectibles are not items you use like on your character. They're just literally like they have a
random
system.
Shit.
Yeah, and there's the higher the collectability, the better reward that you get. So this is the Endwalker version where scripts are what people go for. So you turn these in, you'll get scripts. With those scripts, you'll buy better gear, so that way your chance of successfully making gear from your crafters is higher. Like the quality.
You mean all the gear that's not selling right now?
No, well, yeah, exactly. So, like, imagine, I don't know what the eye level is for crafters right now, but let's call it 500 for that. You're going to need to do these custom deliveries to then get scripts, and those scripts will purchase item level 515 or whatever it may be. So,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool little system. It's definitely for the crafter-gatherer community. It's more focused on them. So, but that leads into, we talked about Ishgard Restoration. The Ishgard housing is going to open up. Imperium, the new district, is here. The entire district is going to be a full lottery system.
Did not see this coming.
I am so fucking happy because this puts everyone on level playing field, and I fucking hate the current, like, how you go about getting a house.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I know before they're like, yeah, we're going to have some that you can, it's going to be classic, you know, this is how you go and get them.
Right.
And these other ones are going to be lottery system. But for them to just say, hey, you know what, we've rethought about it. It's going to be full lottery, right. All of them. And I'm like, okay.
Did you hear the reason, though?
No, I don't remember the reason. What did they say?
They flat out were just like, we're going to try it, and if it doesn't work, we'll figure out a way to go back to the other way. Like, they are willing to let the system fail, but they just want to give it as much attention as it possibly can get right away and see if it's effective. I love that. Like, I mean, it fuck up.
I think a bunch of people are super pumped about the lottery system because it is the fairest way to get a home.
Absolutely.
Now, something I don't know if they went too into detail about how this lottery system is going to work from the get-go.
No.
But something that I'm concerned about is, so obviously there are a ton of different versions of the housing districts, right?
Yeah.
Like a bunch. Are we going to have a system where it's like you just go into a standard version of the housing system and go to a home or lot that you want and put your lotto in for that, but on all of it counts for all versions of it? Or are you going to have to go to a specific ward, to a specific version of that home, and hope that you get that one version of it? Versus, because like depending on the ward you pick, it might be like there's 3 people bidding on it versus 20 people.
Right.
Like obviously places like the first couple of wards are going to be way more popular than like Ward 17. You know what I mean?
Right. They're going to give us more details in the next live letter. From what I understand, you pick the plot you want, not the exact location, but the size, pay for it, and then stuff comes out. That's how it's been explained so far, but they are going to give us more details in the next live letter.
Okay.
So, which I think is actually good and bad, because it's good because it's like, I know I want a small plot no matter what. Cool. Just go pay for that and hopefully you get it. What sucks is you don't get to pick, based on what the information they've given us, you don't get to pick the location of it. Like, if there's 4 small plots in this entire ward, but 1, 2, and 3 have bad views and number 4 is ideal, who gets it? You know? So that's going to be the weirdness that comes with this. So I think the way they do it is each ward is individual, each plot is individual, and if you want in on that, you pay. But I don't know.
I think they do a combination of what I was talking about and what you're talking about, which is they combine, for at least for the initial release, they combine all the wards into a single spot. So you're just picking the plot you want, and then you're bidding on like 30 different versions of that plot.
Right. So
and it's like
you pay random, for that, and it's any ward.
Yeah, and then it just picks a ward at random.
Because that's ward by ward, nothing changes, right? Just the number?
Yeah, it's just the number of the ward.
Right. Okay, so that in theory, that's probably the best way to go about it is pick plot, if they use letters, pick plot D for the smalls, and then any of the Ds in any of the wards is what you're eligible for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
like
the most sense.
I really like this place and this plot right here in this spot. I want this one, so I'm going to bid on this spot, but I just get one of the 30 versions if I win. Like, because I don't know about other people. I don't give a shit about what ward it's in. I just, I would like a specific spot. But if it is as simple as you can just pick what size you want, I'll still just deal with that because I just want a house in Ishgard. Did you mute yourself again?
Tick.
Hello?
Am I not coming through?
There you are.
What the
fuck? Are you gone again?
Mute it.
Hey, there you are.
Oh, my connectivity. No, my connectivity is weird right now. I don't know what's going on. What I was saying is what's nice is I don't care where it's at initially because you have the ability to move it. I just want the house.
Right.
You know, so we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that, to be honest, this could be a fucking shit sandwich, and it's not good at all.
It might be. I mean, if it works like they're saying, I think it'll be fine. If it works closer to what I'm hoping it'll work like with what I was saying, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm amazing. But yeah, you're right. I'm glad that they're willing to admit, like, hey, if this doesn't work out, we'll roll it back. Well, obviously not for the Ishgard housing, because I can't do that. But for future housing, which, hey, hashtag confirmed future housing.
Yep. Yeah.
Which, I mean, we knew it was coming, but they needed to do it. It's the housing.
It's nice to finally have it. It's nice to finally have it.
Exactly. You know, and it just shows that they know the longevity of their game is intact, so they can continue to expand.
No more ultimate difficulty housing.
Jesus Christ. Seriously, though. All right, so let's move on. A couple of small things that we're getting. So for people who don't know, there's what's called the Unending Codex coming. Through the MSQ in 6.1 at some point, this quote-unquote system, I'm not really going to call it that, opens up, and all it is a glossary of all the 14 NPCs and with detailed snippets of information about them. We didn't need it. It's not like it's a bad thing, but it's really cool.
It will be nice for the people that aren't the main cast, you know, so I don't have... Yeah, like, just give me shit on people that we haven't seen maybe in, like, an expansion or so.
Yeah, what are they up to?
Yeah, like, here's what we did with them during such and such thing, just in case we need a refresher on it. So, yeah, I think it's nice. It's like anything else we get in 14. It is something we didn't ask for, but is appreciated, and it's nice to have.
Yeah, you know, it's not groundbreaking content. Other games have this in there. It's just nice. They're just like, hey, we know we have a lot of characters. We have 10 years worth of information to catch you up on. Here's a nice little way for you to have it.
Yeah.
One thing I think they can expand on that. So right now it's just text information. Imagine for a second the pivotal moments that you have with these characters, and you can watch cutscenes through the Unending Codex. I think that'd be fucking sweet. Just something small, but like, if there's a big moment and all of a sudden you want to see Nero be caught by Cid when we're running out of Circus or fucking Darkness, whatever the final Crystal Tower is. Yeah, just like that cutscene to showcase when Nero changed. I mean, you can go watch it anywhere else, but it would be cool to just have it right there and just be like, play. I don't know. Yeah. I think that'd be a little information overload, but we'll see. Okay, so next up we have New Game Plus updates. All this fucking means is 6.0 is being added. That's it.
So I believe they specified 6.0 and a little bit of 6.1.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
I mean, we knew it was coming. This isn't anything new. You know, New Game Plus, they've been very consistent about their cadence. So I think they're pretty pumped. But let's get to the section I know you guys
Neuron activated. Monkey brain. Let's go.
Cosmetic updates are coming. So more glamour plates. I know that they're giving us 5 more.
Yeah.
Which, like, I heard an argument for a good one. There should be at a minimum 20 for all the battle jobs. Minimum.
Right.
So that's good. I think a little bit more should be there, but we'll see. One thing that I didn't expect, the migration in-game with the ability to try on clothes from the MOG station.
I'm really... So what we saw as a screenshot is in Japanese, and I can't translate that. I'm really, really hoping it just has everything in the game in there.
Yeah.
Just so I can finally have a definitive thing to look at. It's like, here is this item, and here's where to get it.
That's the one thing
and
that
trying
I think
it
WoW's
on.
transmog system does really well.
Yes.
Their transmog system has information on where to get anything and everything, and is classified based on like class, spec, who can get it, who can wear it.
But just looking at how extensive that list is, I'm hoping that that's exactly what it means, is that it's just every item.
Good. That would be good.
Another huge thing that we don't got here on a checklist. We are going from 400 items in our chest to 800.
Yep.
It is doubling.
Whoa. Is that enough for you guys that are into it? Is that enough?
It is not.
Still not enough.
I think on one of the previous episodes, not long ago, maybe just a couple back, I was hoping for a minimum of 1,000.
Okay.
But like, I'm happy with 800. Like, that's still double what we have.
Step in the right direction.
Now I'm sure that there's a bunch of things like client side that we just don't understand as to like just how they've implemented the items and why they are so heavy with like, we can't just make a transmog thing that like WoW has. But yeah, like you said, this is definitely a step in the right direction. Hopefully moving into the future, we can have more spaces. But I mean, double's double and I'll take it.
Exactly.
Double is better than nothing.
And I know that friends of mine who are really interested in the Glam community are very excited to just see any updates. So I think this is a big win for a lot of the people who another endgame.
Yeah, I mean, another fun win, and this is a bit more minor, but I think it's huge for convenience sake. Where you can apply glamour is now just in rest areas.
Smart.
Yeah, because like it was in like major cities, but now no, just anywhere you get rested XP, you can change your glamour, which is awesome.
Yeah, any aetheryte crystal or city or town, which is, I mean, it's funny. You can look back and be like, well, why wasn't it like this in the first place? And, they weren't thinking about that, but to see them retroactively go, hey, this would be a smart way to go about it. Here we go. This is for you guys. Like, just speaks to the developers and how in tune they are with the player base. So, pretty pumped.
Another couple minor things for cosmetic stuff. We have new hairstyles for both Vieira and the Cat Daddies.
Oh, and Hrothgar's.
Yeah, both of them. So.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think it's Cat Daddy is a Hrothgar.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about cat like actual fucking Mikutes. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I said daddy, not...
Yeah, that's right. Not boys, not cat boys.
Yeah, there's a difference between the boys and the men. Let's...
Yeah, it's about a 6-pack. That's about it.
And, I mean, they're refrigerators, my guy. They're fucking huge. Built. And also, the new system, I believe it was finalized as being called Adventurer Cards. I may be wrong about that. But it's like... it's a profile picture, essentially. Like, it's a profile plate of, like, here is your hero doing a pose. And Yoshi P wanted to show some screenshots. It was not finished in time, unfortunately. So we are definitely seeing that on the next live letter. But I'm excited. You know, it's just a fun little, like, pose your character and do the thing. And it's just, okay, that's cute. That's just a fun side extra thing.
Well, and the G-Post community is just rapidly growing. You know, there's a lot of people who came over from other MMOs during the big wave of new players. And, you know, that just means an increase in literally every single special community. And the G-Post community is not small. I don't know if you guys have ever been on their Discord, but it's fucking huge.
Yeah, no, huge. I have a friend that is super huge into the G-Post stuff, and it's... Whew.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great system. Like, they do. I remember when WoW tried to put that in there with the selfie cam. And I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then I came over here, saw that G-Pose. I was like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be.
Night and day. Yeah. Night and day.
Oh, okay, now I understand where you ripped it off. It's great over here, but you guys did this horribly. Oh my god, it was so bad. And then the last cosmetic win, in my opinion, is what they're doing to the market board. So you can put a filter on, or hold on, there's a separate area on the market board now for cosmetics, mounts, and appearance changing stuff. I don't think it's like glamour gear, because obviously that's its own little thing. But what's cool is on the filters, you can put it to have I collected this yet, and there'll be a little check mark.
Such a nice
change. Oh my god, so smart. Because what if you buy like the same thing and it's an $800,000 piece?
Oh well, not that much, but I've bought like a Gil thing, like, oh my god, this is so cute, and then it's like, oh, I guess I picked it up in a dungeon somewhere before.
Or like, imagine making a mistake with Pixie Wings, which I don't know where they're at now, but the last time I put a Pixie Wings on the market board, it was going for 9 million Gil. Like, imagine someone making a 9 million Gil mistake.
Oof.
That would fucking drive me nuts. So it's really, really smart. Small. Didn't know we wanted it. Glad we have it all of a sudden. Change, which I think is great. But speaking of changes, I think this is the kind of the last portion of the episode. We talked earlier about the Msq changes. Let's talk a little bit more in detail about what that means. So Cape Westwind, the meme trial, which like I love getting it right now because
all of us do.
Well, because like you see them in cutscenes, so you start fucking with them. You're like, oh, you haven't been here before. Ooh, this is the hardest one. Make sure you pay attention.
That's exactly what one of me and my friend
I do that every time.
We were walking our third friend who hadn't played the game before through the Msq, and we got to Cape Westwind, and she was like, "Oh yeah, my next trial is called Cape Westwind," and we both, without even having to talk with one another, pumped the brakes like, "Whoa, you need us there for that. Like this is the hardest one. Like this, like they still talk about this now in Shadowbringers. You need us there." And it's like, the dude gets the shit beat out of him, and she was just so confused.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it ends quicker than the cutscene. Like, it's literally everyone has gotten to a point where if it's not the first time they're in there, they understand, okay, let's go DPS this as quickly as possible and get the fuck out of here. The cutscene is longer.
Or your commentary adding into it.
Is that the people other than us in the group, without us even having to ask anyone, were like, oh my god, guys, hardest trial, let's fucking go. And she bought more into it.
Yeah. I've had people who are like, hey, hold on before we start this, and they start putting down markers. And like you like as a veteran player, you're like, oh my god, this is next level.
Yes, it's so good. It's
your first trial. You're just like, oh my god, what's going on? What's going on?
I'm happy we all, as a community, got to experience that joy together.
Absolutely.
Rest in pepperoni, Cape Westwind.
Seriously, it is now a solo duty instead of an 8-man.
And now thinking of it, that experience is going to just be a thing of MMO history.
But think about it. The people who were in 1.0 get to talk about what it was like. Now we get to be those people that talk about, oh man, you don't remember Cape Westwind. That was the fucking hardest trial you'd ever have to deal with. And like YouTube videos are going to come up with titles, hardest trial cleared before the revamp. Because I just
12 seconds long.
Do it. Yeah, 15-second video.
Or the La Habrea fight. Man, you don't even know. You
don't even know.
There was like 50 people in here when we used to do it. Like,
yeah, we had to get everyone. This was like the equivalent of world bosses. Oh my god, there's gonna be so many. Well, so coming up on these new changes, one of the ones that is super simple, but I'm really happy about. Hawk Manor now has a teleporter after the second boss instead of having to use the return spell.
You know, it wasn't until they brought it up on the live letter that I'm like, huh, why did they never add that there? There are teleporters in other dungeons.
Yep. And that, it's like, it doesn't take long to be like, hey, use your return spell. But like for a new player,
I was that player. I was that fucking player because I was taking the boss and then I turned around and everyone's gone.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck just happened? The dungeon didn't give me any bonuses. Is this right? Why are they all still in group? What is going on? I'm freaking out.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, it's so I'm excited because it's something we didn't know we needed, but glad to have it now all of a sudden. So that's a smart change, especially with new players coming in and having to experience that dungeon as MSQ. Because I will say this, that dungeon, if you don't have at least one veteran player, is a fucking nightmare. not even the hard version, just the regular, because you don't know, oh, I need these keys to open up these doors. Oh, I got to go this way. Like, there's no, like, flow to it like all the other dungeons that come later that have, like, a linear flight path, if you will.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy that they're addressing those issues. But another change. So, Msq Roulette has always been something that gets talked about a lot. So, they're changing the final ARR Msq trials into something different. So Castrum Meridium or Meridium, it's not Meridium, it's Meridium or something like that. I don't fucking
it's
know.
Meridium.
Castrum Meridium.
No, yeah. It's like Meridium. I'm serious. Hold
Meridium.
on. No, hold on. Meridium. No. Spell it. Look, Meridianum. I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Meridium.
Meridium. Oh, fuck. All right.
Is this the hill you're gonna die on?
No, I'm just too stoned. I fucked up. All right, fine. Crystalline Meridium is now a 4-man dungeon.
Fuck me.
So, such a great change. I think one of the biggest gates has always been this kind of MSQ area, because it's just, how do you entice players?
Long. Yeah, it's long.
Yeah, not only is it long, but when a community flat out goes and says, all right, time to get Netflix on, like, what a shit experience for new players. Yeah. Like, new players just basically get I've been in it where I don't do anything for 90% of the entire run.
I will say
I have done it specifically because I don't do 90% of it.
As veteran players, that's why we do it, because it's like free shit and free XP. But it's like, I totally agree with Dee's opinion. It's like that it totally fucking ruins the opportunity for new players. Like, terrible. I was that new player going through Castrum and going through the Praetorium. And it was awful because it was just this go, because people had fucking done it for 7 years at that point.
Right.
So, of course, they're just going to go.
Well, and not only that, but like what really, really sucks, it's more an issue in Praetorium than Castrum, but Castrum has its issues as well, is if you get lost, all of a sudden
you're fucked.
Well, not only are you fucked, they pull a boss and you'll port. It's like, cool, I don't get to experience 90% of the dungeon because I'm just instantly teleporting to the boss.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It's hopefully the changing them to 4-man dungeons and the rescaling of things really fixes that, especially because everyone's going to actually have to pay attention now. That'll be nice.
I will say this, Castrum to a 4-man dungeon, that's a fucking long 4-man dungeon.
Oh, yeah.
I get it, but that's a long dungeon, so I hope they kind of cut some, I call it chuffa, stuff that doesn't need to be there. I hope they cut some of that chuffa out of there, you know? But then, who knows? And then they moved to Praetorium, and they split that into 3 different parts, which, that's probably smart, but from the start of Praetorium to the Gaius fight is now a 4-man dungeon. The Ultima weapon is just a flat-out 4-man trial, which I think is really good. Personally speaking, because like the elevator ride down is just so fucking boring. I'm glad that that's going to be the end of the 4-man dungeon. For the players that haven't seen that, I think that's a good call. But then La Habrea is a solo duty, which, like, you guys have done it. We've done this specifically. That cutscene between when you kill Ultima and go to La Habrea is like 7 minutes long.
It's long. I
don't want to fucking sit there waiting to just kill one more boss and then be like, all right, now I'm finally done.
I guess I never realized.
Yeah, it's long, man. Like, it's a lot.
And now we don't have to see it ever again. Yeah.
True. But with those changes, the Msq Roulette, the team had talked about removing the Msq Roulette, but instead, now that they've broken it up, you can get Castrum, Praetorium, start from Gaius, the Ultima weapon, and then there's one other thing you can get. I forget what it's called. You cannot get the La Habrea solo duty. Those will be what you get through the Msq Roulette, and the rewards have been adjusted. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. Because if the experience gains aren't there, what's the point?
Yeah, it's going to kind of fall back into, like, it's gonna kind of still take a while to queue up for it.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that they at least like it's still meaningful for the amount of time you spend. Like the reward is meaningful enough.
I mean, I think they should probably just keep the XP rewards because it's probably going to be not as long, but still lengthy, like we were talking about with regards to Castrum. And now you have to pay attention, so it's going to be harder.
Yeah, I think it should definitely be heavily weighted. But since it's cut up into 3 for Praetorium, I know that they've adjusted the values of the rewards. So I'm hoping that they keep it to a point where it's like, this is worth my time.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, and it's not like they can't readjust them going into the future. Yeah,
exactly.
And that really all depends on how long they actually take and how difficult they actually are in this new scenario.
Yeah. What I will say is the adjustment we just talked about, they need to be on the ball. This is one of the few times I'm like, you guys need to be proactive about this. Because imagine they make this split. We get a wave of, say, 5,000 players over every realm. Not each realm gets 5K, but like over the span of the entire game around the world. Like, okay, so 300 players on your realm are going to go through this, and all of a sudden they realize, okay, the rewards aren't worth it anymore. So now those 300 players are just stuck waiting in queue for endless amounts because the reward's not good. You got to fix that as quickly as possible, so that way you can incentivize veteran players to come back into it as quickly as possible to help speed up those back end players.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion, though. Data center travel is coming.
Oh boy.
They didn't give a ton of context. One thing they did talk about is cross-world link shells. You can now do them via data center as well. So I think that's a big win. Because when you're setting up data center travel and like talking to other communities, other than Discord, there's no in-game tools.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good change to put the cross-world link shells between data centers as well now. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that change.
Yeah. And you know, it also means we get to play with Nox now. So that's kind of
sweet. Yay!
Last thing for this particular live letter, and this is where we'll kind of cut the episode, the trust system. We have confirmation from Square Enix that not all the Scions are present in the moments that you can use the trust system when you go through the Msq initially. So that means you're going to have different people coming with you.
Called it.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's nice to get confirmation. And I like that they paid enough attention to detail to be like, these guys aren't around. It doesn't make sense for them to come help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, I like I said, I think moving forward, we're going to have a new cast of people that we're going to be hanging around with. I think we'll probably have a couple classics as mainstays.
Sure.
Specifically, I think Alize and Graha are going to be like, no, we're coming with. But
I don't see Graha only because of the Crystal Tower series.
I definitely see Graha. I think over the course
all he literally wants is to go adventure.
I think over the course of Endwalker, we're going to see the resolution of him restoring the Baldessian annex, and so I think that's going to be what he's doing right now and focusing on alongside Kryl.
Okay.
But yeah, I think moving into the future, while every other Scion's kind of doing their own thing, and they'll all pop in, obviously, because we love them.
Right.
But I think if we're gonna have like a mainstay couple of people, it will definitely be Alize and Graha.
Well, I was talking about the trust version for the ARR dungeons.
Oh.
Yeah, so that, I'm sorry, I should have specified. So during the ARR campaign, people aren't around you. Like, there's sometimes when,
right.
What's her face? Yustola is off doing her own thing.
I thought they were calling that a different name, like it wasn't called Trust System.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. This is just what I saw from the live letter, but I mean, we'll get more context in the next one coming up. But, you know, we had speculated in our last one, like, is Moon Brita going to come with us on some of these dungeon runs?
I hope so.
You know, I do too. I think that'd be so cool to kind of get her back. But yeah, I you know, like you said, there are going to be some mainstays. With that in mind, how do you go about the whole leveling process?
What do you mean?
So like once you go through the first MSQ,
when I was talking about with regards to mainstays, I meant moving forward from Endwalker.
Okay.
Because at the end of Endwalker, obviously all of the Scions are going their separate ways and doing their own thing.
Right.
But I think over the course of Endwalker, we're going to see some resolutions for some of them, not all of them, obviously. Right. And like some of them might like just chill for a while. Like Thancred might just like Urianger, Thancred might just relax and do shit. We know Y'shtola is studying with her former master. But what I was saying is like I think if any of the Scions are going to come with us on this new adventure, it would be G'raha Tia and Alisaie.
I could see it. Those are the two that are most closely connected by the end of Endwalker to the Warrior of Light. And they want to be a part of what they're doing. They feel very connected and drawn to our character. I also think this is a good opportunity to bring G'raha Tia into the fold full time. Because we got him at Crystal Tower series, didn't see him for 2 expansions. Obviously, we know who he is in fucking Shadowbringers, and then we get him just I just want to go on adventures with you, buddy.
I love G'raha.
I do too. He's such a Chad.
The thing that I'm most excited about moving forward at Endwalker, and I think I've talked about it before, but I want a new cast. I'm ready to be introduced to new people that I'm going to spend the next 10 years with slowly. And I'm really excited about that, to get to know more people and establish this really close relationship with them. And that's what I'm hoping Newfound Adventure is all about.
Yeah, well, and not just you're not talking about getting rid of the current cast, You just want new ones.
But I mean, like that's what I'm saying is like that's the beauty of this. We don't have to get rid of the cast.
Yep. Yeah.
They're all, and that's what's brilliant about it. They're all people with their own ambitions and things that they need to do and accomplish.
Sure.
And while we quote unquote dissolved or got rid of the Scions as a organization, we didn't really. They're still a thing. This is just an opportunity to introduce new people to go alongside adventures with, because the fate of the world isn't at stake anymore. We can just do that.
Or reintroduce characters?
Potentially, yeah.
If you could reintroduce it, okay, so let's talk about real quick the 10-year plan. If you could reintroduce 2, who would you pick?
I don't know that I have any.
I have 2. That's why I made it 2, because I couldn't pick just one.
I want to hear yours first.
So the easy answer, and this is something we've talked about a lot, I would love to see Gaius. I absolutely love Gaius. I love his character arc. I love the weapon system, or the Sorrows of Roulette questline in Shadowbringers. I think it gave him such a breath of fresh air, and I also really liked when they stormed the castle, going after Xenos. At the end of Shadowbringers, I thought that was great. The other person, and I connect with this character on a personal level, so I really would like more, is Fordola.
Yeah.
I just really love her character arc. I love that she's torn between old ideals and trying to make her way in the worlds. And I think she's a character that, not necessarily redemption, but is battle hardened and could be expanded on her kind of coming into her own and being her own character.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, I see her hanging out more with, what's his name? Yeah.
The cripple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
Hey, you said yeah. I mean, I'm
an accomplice.
yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to disparage. It sucks what happened to him, but yeah.
I see her doing more with him. I mean, like, in my mind, what I'm seeing, right, is we go to this new place, we start this new adventure, and it's like some fucking asshole bumps into us, and that's our new best friend for the next 10 years.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be really
not
good.
necessarily like that, but I'm just really excited for this opportunity of, like, the Scions have gone their separate ways for now. Let's bring in some new people, because you're just a dude again. You can just be a guy again and talk with the common folk and make friends that way. And when you go and shit hits the fan, you're not going to have your buddies like you usually do backing you up. So you have to have new buddies to back you up.
People you can count on. Nox, anybody that you would like to see expanded?
I mean, I definitely agree with the Gaius, for sure. But
he just makes sense.
I do love Gaius.
Yeah. What, Nero? Nero would be cool.
Oh my god.
Nero would be cool.
Yeah. That smug son of a bitch.
I know. That's why I like dry, sarcastic humor.
I could see Yuguri if we could see like more of her. Like, that'd be pretty cool.
I think that'd be cool. One we didn't talk about, but I think we can kind of expect, because they did hint to it in the live letter. Meteon. I mean,
God, I hope so.
Yeah. They touched on it briefly. I forget the quote, but it was something about, she came back as a wide-eyed teenager ready to experience the world, something like that. Which I think is a good way to look at it.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Meteon is the first of our new cast. Oh, that would make me so happy.
Oh man, that would be so wild.
Yeah, that would be pretty fucking wild. I can't think of any other characters. Like, the one character I'd want from, like, Endwalker specifically is no longer alive, so I don't think that's going to work. So it's interesting to see.
You better not be talking about Xenos.
No, what's his face? Not human, but the Alrock king of Razet Han before he was killed. I thought he'd be a really, really cool character to expand on, but obviously we lost him during Msq. So but I mean, it's interesting to see. We have so many places we could go, and I think this is a good place to end the episode and leave it on speculation. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, you think about all the other games on the market right now, and, like, story-wise, this is the best. Like, this is, I mean, Elden Ring's good. I don't want to spoil that for anyone else, but I think for an MMO, this is the best story on the market, hands down.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So, I think that's going to wrap us up here. So, for anyone who's listening, thank you so much wherever you get your podcasts. If it's on YouTube, do the YouTube things. Like, dislike, drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you feel inclined. One thing I do want to point out for next week's episode, it is already recorded, cut, and ready to be uploaded. We're going to talk about solo content and kind of its place not only in 14, but what we wanted to see. And I'm going to be putting that on the channel next week, so stay tuned for that. And the next episode you'll see after that will be our recap of live letter number 70, right before the 6.1 patch. I appreciate you so much. From Best in Slot Radio, I'm Dtg.
I'm Ez.
And I'm Nox.
We'll catch you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Try fingers, but whole.
Oh my God.